Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
Top of the morning to everyone out there, internet land. This is Terrick Jones, a.k.a. 2.0, a.k.a. Bangor Sight. And I'm in for my brother right here, brother Alvin Mims. How you doing this morning?
Man, I couldn't be no better if I was you, bro. I laugh, bro, because you got that energy, man. I'm telling you, bro.
Early in the morning, I jump shave. I'm getting them funky lyrics, but I don't know why. Yes, this is Talk What You Know on the New Orleans Talk Network, the livest talk network in the nation, ladies and gentlemen. Cats
real
network. Who ain't. And on Talk What You Know, the Hostages That Fight Back edition, we talk about solutions to the problems in our community and what they say about solutions, Brother Alvin.
You may not like them, but that's the ones, that means you got to change and do something, get involved. But, hey, it ain't about it. We're going to tell you. You may not like it, but we're going to tell you.
We're going to give you the solutions. Yes, you may not like them, but they are solutions.
Well, matter of fact, we guarantee 9 out of 10 of them probably not going to like it, but it's up to you what you're going to do.
What you going to do? What you going to do when Irma come for you? Say, look, I just want to make a quick announcements before everybody leaves the stream and start going to work and stuff like that. The Fatherhood Roundtable Annual Breakfast, Saturday, September 16th, 2017. That's this year, not next year. This year, okay? That's a couple weeks from now. And it's 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's 5300 North. What's that? Rock? What's that street?
Yeah, it's Russia Blade.
Russia Blade Street. Martin Luther King Charter School, New Orleans. So that's on Russia Blade. That's in the 9th Ward.
That's the 9th Ward.
That's at the Martin Luther King Charter High School from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's going to be free food, speakers. They're going to do a little bit of ceremony for all the young men in the area who doing great things and stuff like that. We're going to give them props and show them love and let them get their cameos on. So y'all make sure y'all come out. And I went out there last year and we spoke and we talked.
Oh, Terry, we spoke. You spoke. We. Ain't no we. You did it. You
it's
did
been
it.
A year already.
Oh, yeah, and you said something, and right now it's manifesting in our spirit that our children and many of the teachers, and there were a lot of teachers and politicians were saying that that young man brought up some points of how many of our children know more about the government, know about the local government, know about the federal government, but local government.
The Axe Challenge is about a year old, and I'm still asking.
Come on, Terry. We're gonna feature you and have you out there saying how far have we gone in a year's time.
Yeah, look. If y'all don't know what the Axe Challenge is, it's simple. You know,
Come on.
I've been rocking with it for a whole year now.
Come on, bro.
Is you just pick a random person. Don't just go run up on somebody, but somebody you're comfortable with having a quick conversation with. And ask them if they know who their local representation is in the city, especially youth.
A lot of them,
hanging out there, on the corners, chilling by the cars, in front doors, just having great grand
like
time.
The police chief and all this.
Yeah, who is your police chief? Who is your local councilman? Who is your local state representative? Who is your congressman? And who are your local? Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Who are your local councilmen?
But and let me say this to you, Terry. I just came across my mind, and this is my opinion only. Most of them probably don't know anything about them because most of them ain't doing nothing. Most of the people that represent us, that look like us, ain't doing nothing for us. And that's another statement that but our kids don't see if they seeing watching TV or they're on Instagram or whatever. They seeing a whole lot of foolishness going on.
And yes, they are. Look, brings us to today's conversation. Y'all know the big election is coming up in the city of New Orleans. But today's topic of discussion is hurricane season, prepare for the worst. We talking about relief aids. We talking about the local election coming around the way. And we want to spread a little something in there for all those who just want to chime in on the conversation. If Irma, I'm going to throw a question out there. If Irma they say it's headed towards New Orleans. You know, the little cone of error they got right there. You know, saying it heads towards New Orleans. What is your first move?
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? So that's the question of the day. What are you going to do if Fox 8, WDSU, WWL News, 3 days, 4 days from now, get on the news and say we are in that era. We're in that cone of error. What is your first thing you're going to do?
You got to have a plan. You got to have a plan.
Be prepared.
And they can call us at 504-341-8255, 504-341-8255, and let us know because some people don't have a plan.
And look, and hopefully we can assist you. We have information here. We have information on the NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We got links to assist you with aid. As we all know right now, as we all seen, as we all witnessed, as we all prayed, cried, some of us cried, some of us just sat in awe. Like, what is going on? Hurricane Harvey has turned out to be the most devastating hurricane in recent history. I mean, they saying it's gonna be worse than Katrina.
They got the water not gonna subside for some of the neighborhoods for about a month right now. They can't even go back into their neighborhoods.
Do you agree that Harvey was worse than Katrina?
Can I give you that?
Can New Orleanians give Houstonians the nod on this one?
Terry, let me tell you that the lack of comparison. Katrina was man-made because the levees broke after the storm had passed.
New Orleans survived Hurricane Katrina.
Oh yeah, we had over almost 3,000 people. Their bodies were never identified. They had makeshift graves, and many of those bodies were swept out into the Gulf, into the river, and they never found them. So what I'm saying is, I was in Mississippi, and my wife was in Tennessee, and I called the next day. My god brother was at his house, which is next to my house. He said, "Al, got a few shingles off the house because we had all secured the garbage cans and everything." He said, "Everything come, man. You can come on back home." Hey, later on that day, that's when the canals and everything. In several, what about 7, 8, 9 different places the levees failed. So what I'm saying, and we were not, I'm going to say it one more time, the government was not prepared for this situation.
And I totally agree with your brother, Mims. That's what we asking. Hit us up on Facebook. Let us know on Facebook Live. Does Hurricane Harvey, in contrast, compare to Hurricane Katrina as far as damage is concerned? In my humble opinion, Hurricane Katrina devastated 3 states. The Gulf Coast of 3 states, which was Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. Let me say it again. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. Harvey devastated Texas and the west side of Louisiana.
And Terry, if my mind comes back to me, I remember we were leaving. We had to leave 72 hours before the storm, almost 3 days before the storm, because it was a Category 4. It was like 140, 150 miles an hour. We were running from the rain, from the winds, but when it struck the coast, it was downgraded. And we had a lot of rain, but it wasn't 100. It was about 100 miles an hour. But as I said, man, the problem. And I came into the city after the storm and thing. It was ridiculous. I mean, it was suffering all kind of ways, man. And like I said, our Mayor Nagin. He had to cuss the president out to get them to get off their behind.
Tell the president to get off his ass. Get off his ass.
Hey, bro. General Honoré and some of the General Honoré. There are a lot of heroes in this, in in this story here. But like I said, and my mother-in-law is named after the storm, and it's not a joke because she's gone on to glory. But I say, look, Irma, I don't want to remember you like this. I hope that. And Harvey, Steve Harvey starting the show today. Steve, we don't want to remember you like this neither.
Steve Harvey with the sharp lining. Look, hit us up on Facebook. Fred just chimed in. He said that the host of FanView, he said the financial disaster of Hurricane Harvey will exceed Hurricane Katrina in total damages. The difference will be Houston will be able to financially recover faster than New Orleans. As we all know, Houston is twice as big as New Orleans. And look, when we come back from break, y'all know the rant be at the end of the show, but the rant might come a little bit early today because I got something to say about people in New Orleans, from New Orleans and Houston, when it all went down. But we're going to say that for we're going to say that for round 2 of the show. Fred, you're right. You're right. Due to the widespread of flooding, the widespread of the duration of how long the hurricane stayed, of course, is going to exceed total damages. But let's say this, for example. Imagine if Hurricane Harvey would have just kept moving. You know, I don't think it was the fact that it was a hurricane. I think it was the fact that it was over Texas for 4 to 5 days straight. And any hurricane of that magnitude sitting over an area for that long, it could be anywhere. You're going to have billions and billions and billions of dollars in damage. Katrina hit and kept moving. That's the difference. It hit New Orleans at night, and then by the time the daytime came around, the sun was out.
But it hit 80% of New Orleans was submerged. 80% of our city was our city from the different parish. I mean, the different locations. The West Bank, the East Bank. We had some. Well, not the French quarters. Say the
High and dry the French quarters.
I ain't mad with them, but
High and dry.
but hey man, I think everybody has a story with Katrina.
Give us a call, 504-341-8255. Chime in on a conversation. Hurricane season. What must we do to be prepared?
We got 2 more months, man.
Recovery efforts going on in Houston. Have you donated? Have you sent anything out there? Or are
Watch where you donate.
Are you skeptical about donating? And also, the question of the day. If New Orleans is in that cone of error for Irma, what is going to be the first thing you do if WDSU, Fox 8, or WWL Radio gets on there and says, we may be in the path of Irma, which is now a Category 5 storm? We have a call on the line. Call, are you there? Top of the morning to you. Welcome to Talk What You Know with Brother L. Mims and Terrick.
Good morning.
Top of the morning to you, my brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good, and how are you?
I'm fine, my brother. Who we speaking with?
Carrie Mims.
That's what's up. How you doing? How you doing? Listen, I have a quick question for you. We have our question of the day. As we all know right now, we about 5 days away from it. But in the next 5 days, imagine Fox 8, WDSU, WWL Radio comes on the television and said, listen, we on that Kona era, Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama. What is your first thing you're going to do if you find that out from the news?
In the next 5 days, imagine Fox 8, WDSU, WWL Radio comes on the television and said, listen, we on that Kona era, Mississippi.
We having a few technical difficulties. And again, the question of the day, what you going to be doing if you find out? Call us back, caller. Give us a call right back, and we'll get you right back on the air. As we were just talking about Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Harvey, most people from New Orleans ran out there and they were doing good, damn good. But now, if they had left for Harvey and came back to New Orleans, they might be staying for a while. We about to take a quick break, and the rant might be coming a little bit early today. because I got something to say for all the people from New Orleans who stayed in Houston, knowing damn well the people were saying that storm was going to sit over y'all for 4 or 5 days. Then they said it was going back in the Gulf and hit Houston again. And if you were that naive, I'm going to save it for round 2. We coming right back. We about to pay some quick bills. Look, we'll be back in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Get this off my chest. Get this off my chest.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on a golf course that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
What's up, readers and shakers? It's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., join us in the lounge for Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. See you there.
Hi, I'm Linda Lewis with Lewis Armstrong Family Services here live at New Orleans Talk Network. We're here every Thursday at 11 a.m. Come join us. Thank you.
Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
Tommy, 341.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Hostage That Fight Back edition of Talk What You Know. I'm the host, Terrick Jones, along with Brother L. Mims. We are the hosts of the Hostages That Fight Back edition. And remember, the Fatherhood Roundtable will be hosting this annual Fatherhood Roundtable, annual free breakfast, Saturday, September the 16th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Dr. Martin Luther King Charter High School in the 9th Ward.
Yes.
And hopefully, Irma doesn't head this week. We can have this breakfast.
We gonna, yeah, and I want to thank you, Terrick, for last year. You gave. I mean, it's been on our minds and our stomachs. We asked the question is how many of our kids know our local legislators, our councilmen and at large and mayors and things. You'd be surprised, man.
They don't know them. They don't.
Some of y'all don't know them.
Some of y'all adults don't know them. And that's the Axe Challenge. The Axe Challenge. Ask our youth. See, they know who LeBron James is. They know who Steph Curry is. They know who all the character is on Power.
Now you
know what I'm saying? They know who beefing in the neighborhoods.
Yeah, you starting something else now.
They can go get a gun if they wanted to.
Yeah, some begging before they get a hamburger.
They could get a gun quicker than they could get a hamburger, but they don't know who their local representatives are. That's a fundamental problem to me, but, that's just my opinion and Brother Alvin Mims' opinion right here. Al Mims,
Ouch.
community activist. But for a 13-year-old not to know who their local councilman is, I put that solely on the parent.
Yep.
Today is the day of destruction. Today is the day we must be prepared for the worst. Today is the day where you might have to leave your home, never to return everything that you know. And to know what the funny part is, we done been through it before.
Yes.
So, with that being said, are you prepared for hurricane season?
What's your plan?
What is your plan? Do you know that New Orleans, the city of New Orleans, and some in Jefferson and some in St. Bernard, is below sea level? I'm talking about 10, 15, 20, 25 feet below sea level in some
Surrounded
areas.
by water. We're
And since
crescent.
they're not going to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you, since Hurricane Katrina hit, it's sinking even faster. Don't you know what sinking means?
Global warming and all this. Go on.
Sinking.
Oh, listen to Donald Trump.
Going under, below. Do you know that the city of New Orleans is protected by a levee system?
All the way around.
And it is surrounded 360 degrees by water?
Check the definition of crescent. Or why they call it a crescent city.
The crescent. Don't you hear that term that goes around? The river crest. When the river crest, everybody that's a part of the Army Corps engineers be on top of it, making sure that it doesn't top the levees. Crescent City. Don't you know that the federal government built that levee in the 50s? The federal government. So that levee that you see along the river walk and driving across the river, that pretty levee they call it Mississippi River, that levee that tames it, hasn't always existed. It hasn't always been there. They had to tame it, build a levee to stop it from running the way it want to run. Do you know that we are losing on the Gulf Coast a football field an hour to coastal restoration?
Wow.
I mean coastal
erosion.
Yeah. And there are no serious coastal restoration programs.
None. Yes, indeed. You gave us a mouthful. And Terry, we were out here talking about the young and the restless and the bold and the beautiful, and we talking about life and death, man. And most people don't have a clue what it's all about. Let me jump on this. The situation happened about a month ago with the storm, and I think today is the anniversary. Today a month since the rain they had on Saturday on the 5th of August. It showed how vulnerable we are. We're not even ready for a rain. There were people saying that, the pumps must not be pumping, and the people that supposed to be protecting us and being honest with us, the politicians say, you got to get used to this. This is the new normal, and this is the way it is. And now we find out that we're not ready by no means necessary.
None.
And Terry, it's a funny thing, but it's not funny. But what I'm saying is that how is it that these people are still in office? How is it that Ray Nagin went to jail, and we got Mitch Landrieu who, people want answers. People want to know what happened to all the money, or how is you also find $44 million and all these pumps are broken. Say, man, if Harvey had just happened to come this way, we've been in trouble. If that storm, that rain that we had on the 5th of August had come during a school day, not on a Saturday, we'd have had kids being drowned, or their parents being drowned, trying to get them from point A to point B, Terry.
And you know what, Brother Mims? With all the information out there, my brother, all the current events that happen, if there's a soul remaining in this city and you are not a government official, if a storm is heading this way, you need to drown.
Like a rat.
You know, you need to go through whatever you're going to go through because it is obvious. It can't be any more transparent that if anything hits New Orleans, it's going to flood. And you ain't going to have to wait on the levees to break this time. You're not going to have to wait on that. All you have to do is just wait on a storm to hit.
Yeah, and the water to rise.
And put on your flippers.
Yep.
And you can expect, don't think it's going to be like in Houston, because they wires underground.
Oh, yeah.
For the lights and the cell phones to be working.
Mm-hmm.
Because people was going live while they was in their house. When water literally coming up, they going live. The lights on, the stove working, they cooking and it's flooding in the house. They cooking grits and eggs. Talking about, we ain't going nowhere. The lights, the first thing that's going to happen is the lights going off. Clunk. The second thing that's going to happen is all the cell phone towers ain't going to work. They're not going to work. So cell phones, lights, you ain't going to have that. That's going to be within the first 45 minutes of the storm approaching because we got light poles. Them coming down, that's the first thing that's going down is the lights. Second thing that's going to happen is your cell phone going out. Third thing that's going to happen is the catch basin is going to clog up.
Well, they already clogged 15,000 of them. 15,000 of them.
You ain't got nothing to pump the water out.
And nothing to pump the water. It's like hair your drain in your bathtub. Most of them haven't been cleaned out in years, and they have money appropriated for that for all the year. What happened to all the money?
I can tell you what happened to all the money. They got some conspiracy theories going on, Brother Mims. Let me tell you, let me let you know. Let me fill you in on what's happening. Mitch. All right, this is what they saying, that 2 + 2 = 4. God damn it, you got the right. But this is only speculation, no proof of this. But if it is true, then Mitch needs to be locked up. From what I comprehended, and my comprehension skills may not be up to par with everybody else's, but this was planned. They knew that the Sewage and Water Board wasn't operating the correct way. Don't Mitch sit on the board. They knew that those pumps were not going to work correctly. They knew a lot of this stuff ahead of time and done nothing about it because they want the federal government to pay for it. They want the federal government to redo the infrastructure of New Orleans.
It's supposed to have been already done.
So if you want the federal government to help foot this, what you have to do? Cause a disaster.
I think we dodged a big bullet, man.
Now, is it true? Who's to say? But for the Orleans Parish to have a rainy day fund for the Sewage and Water Board, and it was never tapped into, and you got obvious, you could drive down the damn street and see these catch basins not working. You could see they smashed in. They got vegetation growing on top of the catch basins. This has been happening for years. And you got $80 million in the rainy day fund. That's where they got the money from, Brother Mims. The rainy day fund.
Yeah, it's a slush fund here.
So if this was all transpiring, and you got $80 million sitting right here, but you never touched it, what's that's telling me? You want something to happen. Look, I got $200 sitting in the bank. My car note is $100, but I never paid it. I must want them to come take my car now, don't I? So you got $80 million sitting in the rainy day fund, but you don't fix the catch basins. You must want it to flood, don't you?
Yeah, it's flooded.
Now all of a sudden they're getting all kind of money. Now all of a sudden they got the money to do all these around-the-clock repairs. Now all of a sudden you got the money to pay the manpower. You hiring like crazy to get the catch basins. You hiring equipment. You got people coming in from all over with vacuums, trying to clean out all of a sudden. Where this money came from? The rainy day fund. And God damn it was a rainy day. So my take on the whole thing is, and look, we got this election coming up. Choose your candidate wisely. See, look, let me say something. Let me get a little bit off track when it comes down to this politics. The person with the most money is the candidate you don't want, in my book. Now, go ahead and vote how you going to vote. Just vote. But see that person with all that money, they got obligations to fulfill because Lord knows they're not getting it from Zulu. Lord knows they're not getting it from the social and pleasure clubs in the city of New Orleans, the black ones. They're getting it from the white business owners. That way they're getting the money from. So all these people with $300, $400, $500, $600,000, if it didn't come out their own pocket, if they get in that office, they got some obligations to fulfill. That's how politics go. What you call them earlier, Brother Mims? Ticks. They got ticks in politics.
Yes, buttsuckers. And I want to say this personally. I'm not going to support anybody that Mitch endorses because what is it? What do they owe him? Because he don't do nothing for nothing.
So you know Mitch gonna be out here kissing babies for the next major election. What are you gonna try to do?
Jumping in the water.
For the governor of the state of Louisiana. He was already the lieutenant governor. If I'm not
but he wants to be. Hey, bro, he
senator, congressman.
Yeah, bro.
When he go to Maryland, you right, and become a super lobbyist and make millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Hey, I say this, man, and I stand by it. If our former mayor is in prison, then Mitch should be in jail too.
And let me say this: now they pick a damn good time to be honest. Now we know how many pumps ain't working. We know exactly when the pump going down because they coming out here and they just running, bumping their guns, running their mouth, but we couldn't get this information beforehand.
Oh, man.
I mean,
we
could not get this information. I mean, it was the best kept secret that the pumps was not working in New Orleans. God damn it, let me tell you something. You knew them pumps weren't working. Let's get back to today's topic. Are you prepared? Now that we know that the pumps, they not working, y'all, straight up. The pumps ain't working. So now we know the pumps ain't working. Are you prepared for Irma? Now nobody's saying Irma's coming here, but are you prepared? And we talking about relief for Hurricane.
Where you seeing your dollars at?
Look, they got the scammers. The scammers come out at night. They come out for hurricanes. They come out for natural disasters.
Some of them look like us too, bro.
These people are very convincing.
Yes.
How I know? Because I used to be one of them.
Hey, bro.
Very, very convincing.
Hey.
Look, you must know how to check the credentials of these organizations. It's easy. Google it. Read up on it. If it looks like this is when you know it's a fake website. If there's two websites with the same name, don't deal with none of them. One may say .org, one may say .net. Now, is it a fake website? There's no way to be for sure, but that is a clear indication. If you go to redcross.org and they got a redcross.net and they got a redcross.com, I'm just saying, for example, I'm not saying Red Cross is not legit. You got 3 of them. Just keep scrolling. Find something else to do. And a lot of people don't really deal with Red Cross, but they're the most reputable organization out there. Red Cross is not a federal entity. It is an organization, which means they take a large sum of the money and pay themselves and then give some of it back. If you want to donate something, please stay away from clothes because a lot of time the clothes end up being burnt. Diapers are always a good donation. Canned non-perishable food items are always a good donation. If you don't have the money to send, paper towels are always a good. Female feminine products are always. Find the local drop stations and just drop off some of these items, and they'll make sure that these people get these items. Diapers, you have babies out there. Pampers for adults, you have a lot of elders out there. Non-perishable food, you know what I'm saying? The canned food, a lot of people need to eat, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people say send clothes, but don't send clothes unless you specifically know where you sending clothes to. because a lot of the times the clothes get damaged. We got a call on the line. Give us a call at 504-341-8255. I want to reiterate the question of the day. WWL, Fox 8, WDSU, they get on the TV and say, what, Brother Mims?
Oh, you got to go.
Hurricane Irma, Category 4 or 5 heading towards New Orleans, Kona era, New Orleans, Alabama, Mississippi. All three of us in that cone.
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do when you hear that come on the news? Caller, you there?
You gotta go.
Yo, is you there, caller? Caller, is you there? Please speak up. You on Talk What You Know with Terrick and Brother Mims early in the morning.
Yes, I am.
Hey, how you doing? It's your caller. Are you there? How you doing? You there? You good?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly, my brother. Can you hear us?
Is that Mr. Tommy Vassell?
Good morning. This is Tommy Vassell.
Okay. Would you state and identify yourself and tell the listening audience who you are and what you're all about, Tommy, for me?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Mr. Tommy, can you hear us on your cell phone pretty well? Mr. Tommy, can you hear us on your cell phone?
Sure. My name is Tommy Vassell. Look, I just happen to be a mayoral candidate, number 47, but I really want to talk about my experience with being on the Sewage and Water Board and being there during Katrina.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead, my brother. We listening. We listening, Mr. Tommy. Go ahead, Mr. Tommy. We listening. Whenever you get a chance, we just start talking about it. We gonna chime in as the conversation goes on. Can you hear us good, Mr.?
Okay. So I was there during Katrina when we had all the flooding. I want to say that fortunately for us, we had evacuation routes to leave out of this city. In light of what happened in in Houston with Harvey, we no longer can go west anymore. So if there's something in the area coming toward us now, we really have to be more strategic about where we're going to send the people from New Orleans, because we cannot go west this time like we've done in the past.
That is an excellent point right there. I mean, typically when the storm is headed in from the east, we go west because we don't want to run into the storm. We go west north. When it's coming in from the west, we go east north. But we can't go west this time, and there's a storm approaching from the east. So how are we going to be prepared? My brother, I heard you say you worked for the Sewage and Water Board for a stint, and you was there for Hurricane Katrina. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now you say you had an evacuation route for was that evacuation route for the employees of the city, or was that for everyone?
Well, let me caution you something. I did not work for the Sewage and Water Board. I was a volunteer on the Sewage and Water Board and served there for 9 years. I got elected president pro tem of the Sewage and Water Board right during Katrina and led it back.
Okay, I got you on that. So, all right, let's move on to another question then. We have heard a lot about, people in the city of Houston coming to the city of New Orleans for the evacuation, and family and stuff like that, and friends are returning back to the city of New Orleans. What is the city, do you think the city has a plan for the people 3-4 days out, just in case there is a storm approaching us, Hurricane Irma approaches us? Are we going to enact the counterflow situation, or how does that normally work? What does the the local officials do to get the people out of the city of New Orleans?
Can you hear us, Tom?
Yeah.
He wanted you to explain to what you think that the city what plans the city have to get people out of the city if Irma should approach.
Well, again, I think if we have Irma approaching us, we have to really look at a different direction for evacuating people out of here.
Which would be typically at this point right now, I-10 going?
Well, I'm not really sure what plans the city have, but I think every individual that can leave needs to start documenting a plan for themselves as to what route are they going to take to get out of here. You know, I mean, we can go east, we can go north, but we certainly cannot go, and really we may not even be able to go east depending on the direction and what impact it will have in some of those eastern states like Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, you know, so we have to look at that. I mean, we may have to go north.
Yes.
So north will be headed towards Baton Rouge, going straight up, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Look, it's all about being prepared for hurricane season. And if you're not prepared, like Mr. Tommy just said, now is the time to start calling those family and friends outside of the area. Getting your all your important paperwork together, Social Security number, birth certificates, insurance cards. Now is the time, if you do have insurance, flood insurance, to start going over those documents for your flood insurance. Now is the time to start seeing how your finances is going to pan out through all of this. You know, if you got a big birthday party coming up, maybe you want to put that on hold for right now, just to make sure that we are in the clear of everything. Now is the time to start making sure that your children are aware of the situation so that we can have less of a psychological thing going with our kids if they are displaced. Now is the time to start explaining to our children what hurricane season can be like if you have to evacuate, because we have been 10 years removed, 12 years removed from evacuating a mandatory evacuation of New Orleans. And there is a threat out there that can potentially causing the mass evacuation. If you don't know about the counterflow, please, now it's time to Google it. People, this is a serious time of year. 12 years ago, no one knew if they could return to this city. We remember watching CNN, okay? We are worse off than we were before Hurricane Katrina because we don't have protection at this moment.
Tommy, Tommy, can you hear me?
Yes.
I want to ask you a question, and you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. Why is it that a month ago, August 5th, when we had that heavy rain, and I think it was a blessing in disguise, where were they going to? I mean, what was the powers that be? What were they thinking? I mean, and I'm just, you know, for you to play devil advocate, they had people thinking that we were all right. And that rain showed us that Saturday that this city is in trouble. What were they thinking? What were they thinking that people are horrified and disgusted and afraid now that we're not ready? What were they thinking? Tom? Tommy.
Well, look, I have to say that the administration at the Sewage and Water Board and at the city were sleeping on the job, because there were meetings that they actually talked about some of these turbines not working, and yet they did nothing at all to repair them. They certainly did not report them to the city. And as a result of that, our citizens were impacted in a huge negative way with all of this flooding. I mean, that flooding occurred certainly in the area that I was born and raised in, Treme, where I currently still live. And it's appalling that we had administrators at the Sewage and Water Board who were not going out there fixing those pumps. And look, some of the pumps were not working, but more importantly, the generators and the turbines were not working. And just for the listening audience, that is what powers those pumps. So if we don't have power to the pumps, that's equivalent to having a brand new car with no battery. You know, it's not going to run. And so, you know, I'm so happy to see that some of these people stepped down and left because they were of no good to us, because they were not fixing the equipment that was over there. And I want to say that while I was on a board during Katrina, FEMA gave us over $650 million to make all of these repairs. So as I said, I got off the board in 2011.
Okay.
6 years later, after making many of these repairs, this administration did not do the proper maintenance and keep that equipment fixed. And so it's appalling that during hurricane season, we were left so vulnerable, and we still are vulnerable.
Well, Tommy, and you know what? I worked for the Sewage and Water Board 20 years ago, and some of the same problems and I got documentation, I'll show you, that the same things that were happening then are happening now. Tommy, there was money allocated for catch basins, and they got 15,000, if I'm correct, 15,000 catch basins that are clogged up, Tommy.
Well, Brother Mims, one of the things I want to say is that, the catch basins is the responsibility of the city.
Okay, I'm aware of that, but I didn't see any work being done on the catch basin. No cleaning, and the citizens, they have to take responsibility too. Because I tell people, we can't pour the oil and the leaves and things. We got to clean our catch basins, but I didn't see any work being done, Tommy. And look, Tommy, give us some information about you, bro. Cause before time expire, tell them who you are and what you're running for, and what's your qualifications. Can you do that, bro?
Yes. So look, my name is Tommy Vassell. Number one, I'm a CPA by profession. I'm 36 years as a CPA, so I clearly understand how to operate a $1 billion budget. In addition to that, as I remind people that the mayor is also the president of the Sewage and Water Board, I'm the only candidate in the race that has served on the Sewage and Water Board as a volunteer, and yet I stayed there, ate and slept with the men of the Sewage and Water Board during Katrina, and actually fixed many of these pieces of equipment that are damaged today. So you need that sort of leadership, but I also got appointed to oversee the jail here in the city, and I work directly for a federal judge, making sure that that jail is run properly, making sure that it's funded properly. I've also worked for 13 criminal district court judges, so I see what's going on in our criminal justice system, and that's one reason why I've not advocated for hiring more police officers. My plan is to rehabilitate these individuals versus incarcerating them. I think we can save many of these young brothers out here that are committing crimes. We just have to provide some alternatives to them to get them out of that. There are many training programs that we can provide for them, plumbing, housing. NORA has over 1,000 lots and homes that we can allow these individuals to go there and fix them up and then own these properties and live in those properties. But we can also go out here and get proper training for them so that they can get good paying jobs in this community. And so that's why I'm not one of those who's talking about trying to arrest our way out of this problem. I think we can rehabilitate our brothers and sisters out here and turn things around.
Well, Tommy, you've always said that, people think that, they deal with numbers. 1,500. I'm going to get 300. I'm going to get 500. It ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. You can't do it. You can't do it.
You can't do it, Brother Mims. I mean, look, some of the experts have indicated that it will take...
It's much easier to rehabilitate than to hire a police officer. I mean, a lot goes into hiring police officers.
The experts have said that at best, we think we can hire a net 50 police officers a year. So these people that are saying 500 and giving $10,000 raises to police officers, those are people that don't quite understand that a $10,000 raise equates to $15,000 when you add fringe benefits on top of that. So I think some of my opponents are clueless. What they're trying to do is build a wall, and it'll be just like Donald Trump talking about Mexico is going to pay for it. We need to ask some of these opponents who's going to pay for 500 police officers and who's going to pay for a $10,000 raise, because we know that's not reality. But what some of my opponents want to do is claim that they're going to build a wall, get in office, and never do anything that they say they're going to do. And I'm not that kind of person. I'm a man of integrity, and if I give you my word, I'm going to get it done.
Tommy, let me say this. I want to go on record, and people who've known me or know me have talked to me in the last month or more. I have endorsed you, but publicly, I want to say to you that Brother Al Mims, the Comet, they say I'm an activist, an advocate, or whatever. I'm endorsing Tommy Vassell for mayor of New Orleans. He's the best candidate. He got the know-how, he got the wayward, he got the smarts, and he got the work ethics. That's what Brother Al Mims is at right now.
Off top, Bo.
Tommy, did you hear that?
I appreciate that very much, Brother Mims. I believe you know that I'm a soldier. I've been giving back in this community for over 30 years, volunteering throughout this community.
Yes.
And I have the background to actually do this job well.
Yes. And I want to say to you, Tommy, I will be catching up with you, and I want you to know, bro, there's no better choice. And when I say Tommy Vassell, it's the Mims family, the Mims gang, the Get Along gang. My wife and my son, and if my grandchildren could vote, they would vote for Tommy Vassell, the best candidate they got in office. Tommy,
I appreciate that.
Hey man, listen, I'm gonna get back with you. There is a thing in New Orleans. He's a meeting, a conference, something this afternoon in New Orleans East. Will you be there?
I appreciate your prayers, Brother Mims. I appreciate your support of you and your family, the members in your community. I think I am the best qualified candidate, and I'm just hoping the public looks at qualifications and not at popularity and not who has the most money.
Yeah, well, I say that all the time. It shouldn't be money. Should never stop, Tommy. We talked about this. You're not a money man. No, you know about how to use money, but this campaign is not about money. And just because the person got money don't mean that they're the best candidate. So we already know that. You okay, my brother?
We talked about this.
Exactly.
You're not a money man.
Thank you, Mr. Tommy, for calling in and giving us that. And look, man, you got my support. I live on the West Bank in Jefferson Parish, but you definitely have my support. You're going to hear us continue to speak about your candidacy here on the New Orleans Talk Network.
I appreciate you, brother,
Feel free
man.
to call in at any time.
Have a great day.
All right. Thank you, my brother. There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Mayoral candidate Tommy Vassell. Like I was just telling y'all.
And let me say this, my brother. He spoke. He's a certified accountant. He knows about money. And I know. And I'm gonna say this to you. If anybody knows me, whether you like me or you respect me, well, no, you respect me. That's all I want you to do. And whether you like me or dislike me, that's okay. But I have never endorsed any person in my. On record,
And look, that must mean that's how strongly you feel about this individual.
Yeah, because he's honest. First of all, these numbers not gonna get it. Let me say something to you. The city, and he's talking about numbers. The city budget now, they got a $600 million budget right now, and the police department has always been the heaviest part of the. $125 million or $200 million. And I'm trying to see, I don't see, the police department still is in trouble. So what Tom is saying is, you can't keep throwing money after money. They're saying is, we got to recycle and help our brothers and sisters who are incarcerated, because there are a lot. I served on the parole board for 8 years, 2 governors, and during the storm, there are a lot of people in jail that shouldn't be. They wouldn't hurt a roach, Terry.
Yeah, and like Mr. Tommy Vassell was just saying, they want to arrest their way out of this situation. Who's the majority of people that's going to be getting arrested?
Ouch.
Your cousins, your brothers.
You.
You know what I'm saying? They wanna hire their way out of this situation. Who paying for all that? You better check your water bill after October 14th if Tommy Vassell not in the office. If they put somebody in there that's cool, that's in cahoots with Mitch Landrieu, check your damn water bill. Okay? Because you can expect to be paying some, you're going to be thinking you got alkaline in that water. You heard me? But you ain't got nothing but straight up copper, zinc, and all the little bit other materials that ain't good for your body. You know what I'm saying? Look, as promised, thank you for calling in, Mr. Vessel. I know I want to wait and just chill and just think about this and let the sensitivity of all the stuff that's happening, you know, blow over. The storm lasted for 5 days. This our first Tuesday back on there since the storm. We kind of shut some things down at the station. Get well, Miss Yolanda Griffin, host of The Money Factor. She'll be back on air soon. Look, I just want to give my comments towards all the people from New Orleans that stayed in Houston. Now is the time. They're here right now. So here it go. You're stupid, you're crazy, you're dumb, you're ridiculous, you're naive, you're just a dumb. How in the hell you gonna leave New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina, go run to Houston, get situated, get rooted, start making money, calling home, bragging to all you people about you making more as a nurse, a nursing assistant in Houston, home health care in Houston, warehouse worker in Houston, you making more doing that than you would ever have made in the city of New Orleans. So you making money. You got a whip, you got a brand new whatever, you got all this stuff, you doing good, right? You shitting. Because everybody back at home hurting still. You know what I'm saying? So you coming back and forward from Mardi Gras, y'all doing y'all thing. Y'all loving it out there in Texas.
Oh, boy.
Y'all loving it.
You making enemies, Tom.
You know what I'm saying? I had to wait a week, Brother Mims, before I got on this level because I know a lot of people was feeling a little bit sensitive about it. But here we is, 12 years later. This is why you left New Orleans. So you go out there in Houston and you find you a new home. And you find yourself in a situation all over again. But it ain't the hurricane fault. It ain't the governor's fault of Texas. It's not the mayor's fault of Houston. It's your damn fault. Because these people got on the news and told you 3-4 days before the storm came to Houston, this is gonna be chilling. This is gonna post up. This is gonna jost the hell out. This is gonna jost us. So if you on the east side, if you from New Orleans, you supposed to know how a hurricane works at this point in time. The west side is the weak side. The southeast side is the strongest side of the storm. You're supposed to know this already.
You know your geography, don't you?
If you didn't know, I was calling it before it even happened. I knew from Houston all the way down to Beaumont was going to be flooded due to what the meteorologist was saying. The storm was going to sit over the southeastern area of Texas for 3 to 4 days. It's going to stall. It's going to drop rain. These storms are no joke when it comes to pouring rain. They drop rain. Imagine you put a clog in a bathtub. No, you even got to clog it up. Leave the drain open and turn the water on as hard as it can go. If you let the water run, even with that hole in the tub, you let the water run long enough, it's gonna top the tub. It's gonna float over. It's gonna flood out the tub. Imagine that's a hurricane over a city. That's how. That's an example. So for all the people, look, I love y'all. I'm not sympathizing for that though. I can expect the people of Texas. I can expect them Texans. They hard-headed people. They resilient. They more resilient than us New Orleanians. Them Texans are some hard-headed ass people. Okay, I can expect them to get caught up in something like that. But it's two type of people I didn't expect to get caught up in them hurricane, in that storm water. Was the Mexicans, Hispanics, because Lord knows they could get out of Dodge. They can, if you could cross a desert, you could get out of the way of a hurricane. And the people from New Orleans. Some of y'all never came back. Welcome back. Because you ain't going back no time soon. And if you had to come back here and experience that, if you from New Orleans and got caught up in those flood waters, there is no excuse for you being in that situation. None. Because if you were stuck here for Katrina and got evacuated to Houston and got stuck in Houston for Harvey, you might want to go to California and deal with the earthquakes because it's obvious you can't handle a full warning. I don't sympathize with people who've been through something and then go through it again. I mean, that's what you call an oxymoron. That is the exact definition of insane.
Doing the same thing and
expecting different results.
Yes, indeed.
Now, anybody with 6 senses knew Houston was gonna flood. Let me tell y'all before we get off the air why they didn't evacuate Houston. But they got to come up with a plan. Now, the whole Houston metro area, when the local government comes out and says mandatory evacuation, that means that they are liable for y'all now. Okay, they have to put in action a plan.
That's right.
They didn't have a damn plan. How in the hell are you gonna evacuate 4 million people in 2 days, 3 days?
Can't happen.
Let me know. So the evacuation had to be voluntary. But it was they gave you the strongest suggestion that they could on getting out of Dodge. The people did what they could. So all y'all people out there talking about something, they wrong for not giving a mandatory evacuation. When you give a mandatory evacuation, that means you have to have a plan. Why in the hell you think counterflow in New Orleans came about? First, St. Bernard Parish. Second, Orleans Parish. Third, Jefferson. Because when you issue a mandatory evacuation, not only that, you have to have a plan for all the elderly people who can't get out. You gotta get them out. So when you issue a mandatory evacuation, the local government has to institute a plan, okay, to get the people out. The Houston metro area, it is damn near impossible to evacuate that many people in that short of a time. But they have to have a plan now.
It was
they have
hard,
to put together a plan.
It was hard for us to get almost 300,000 people out of New Orleans. It was almost impossible.
For anybody who remembers, and we're about to close the show, anybody who remembers, it took us, we evacuated to Lake Charles, Louisiana, Calcasieu Parish.
I went to Mississippi.
It took what normally takes 3.5 hours, 18 hours to get from the West Bank to Calcasieu Parish.
Jackson, Mississippi, 18 hours about.
18 hours.
The counterflow, it was crazy.
With the counterflow. So imagine, and that's how many people, Brother Mims?
That was 300.
A couple 100,000?
Yeah, about 300,000.
It wasn't even a million. You talking about 4 million people.
That's right.
Not in Houston, in the Houston metro area.
That's right.
4 million people. Can you imagine?
People would have died on the highway, man. Drowned.
Can you imagine the cars running out of gasoline? Yeah. The gridlock situation.
Cars breaking down.
Cars breaking down.
People got to go tingle.
You going to have people on the highway for the storm.
Yes, indeed.
So the best plan in order is to say, you know what? We're going to call for a voluntary. Those who can leave, leave. Those who stay,
we're going to help.
We praying for you.
We're going to take care of you, help you.
That's all you can do. That's all you can do. But let me tell you something. If you was a New Orleanian, I don't care if you had to get on a damn highway and walk. You had no business staying in that situation all over again. You had no business flooding my goddamn timeline with these live videos and these posts. This messed up. This messed up. I'm going through this all over again. I done lost everything again. Don't lose your damn life. Because you can replace houses. You can replace clothes. You can replace all of the material things you have. What you can't replace is life. What you can't replace is your health.
And may I say, Terry, my heart goes out to the little fountainberry baby. 1-year-old baby was killed in a fire yesterday in the Hollywood area. And they had smoke detectors and everything, but for whatever reason, the baby died. So my heart goes out. I seen grown men crying yesterday, and it's nothing like losing a baby. Am I right or wrong?
Prayers and condolences go out to their family. Can we get some bumper music, Mike? Bring us home. On that note right there, rest in peace to that child. that's wrapped in the arms of the Lord right now, and all the heavenly angels and all those family members that came before that child. And I pray for that family, and I hope y'all have a speedy recovery and get back on y'all feet. And remember that the Lord has a plan. He doesn't put you through nothing that's going to kill you. It's going to only make you stronger. So, don't say, it's hard not to question the Lord in that situation, so I can't say what I would do. But I do know one thing. We celebrate life.
That's right.
And we're going to celebrate the life of this 1-year-old. And we can continue living and believing that the Lord always has a plan for the greater good. So rest in peace to that youngin'. And we'll see y'all next Tuesday on the Hostages That Fight Back edition of Talk What You Know with Terrick Jones and Brother L. Mims. And that family, I know y'all going through it right now. We praying for y'all. We praying for y'all. We really are.